Good morning/afternoon/evening, everyone. Change is one of the most difficult yet necessary parts of life. We all dream of a better future, a more successful career, healthier relationships, or personal growth. But often we forget a fundamental truth. If you want to change your life, you must change. It is easy to wish for change and hope that circumstances will shift in our favor. However, real transformation does not come from luck or external forces. It comes from within. The truth is, your habits, mindset, and daily actions are what shape your future. If you desire success, you must change your discipline. If you seek happiness, you must change your perspective. If you want better health, you must change your lifestyle. Nothing in life improves unless you improve. The process of change isn't always comfortable. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing challenges, and sometimes letting go of the old version of yourself. But every great achievement in history was born from a willingness to change. Ask yourself today, what is holding me back? What can I do differently? The answers to these questions hold the key to unlocking your potential. Start by making small, consistent changes, and over time you will see how these efforts create a ripple effect in your life. Change is not a one-time event. It is a continuous journey. But the good news is that you are in control. You have the power to redefine your future by making different choices today. One of the greatest misconceptions people have about change is that it is something that happens to them rather than something they create. Many of us wait for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or external circumstances to shift before we decide to take action. We think once I get that new job, I'll be happier, or when I meet the right person, my life will be complete. But the truth is, change doesn't start with the outside world, it starts with you. If you want to change your life, you must first change yourself. That means shifting your mindset, adjusting your habits, and reevaluating the way you respond to challenges. Success, happiness, and personal growth are not destinations that you stumble upon. They are the direct result of the way you think, act, and make decisions every single day. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't just wake up one day in a better situation. They took control of their lives by transforming their habits and attitudes. They worked on their discipline, developed resilience, and made sacrifices to become the people they needed to be in order to achieve their goals. The first step to change is self-awareness. You must take an honest look at yourself and identify the beliefs, fears, and behaviors that are holding you back. Are you procrastinating? Do you have negative self-talk? Are you avoiding responsibility for your own growth? Recognizing these patterns is crucial because you cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. Once you become aware of the changes you need to make, the next step is taking action, no matter how small. Change doesn't happen overnight, and you don't have to completely transform yourself in a single day. Instead, start with small, intentional adjustments. If you want to be healthier, begin with a short daily workout. If you want to improve your mindset, start by practicing gratitude or reading self-improvement books. If you want to be more productive, eliminate distractions and create a schedule that prioritizes your goals. Ultimately, change is an internal process. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your reality. The moment you accept this truth, you gain power over your life. When you change the way you think, feel, and behave, the world around you starts to shift in response. Many people go through life hoping for things to get better. They wish for success, happiness, good health, financial stability, or better relationships. They dream about the future, imagining a time when their problems will disappear and life will finally be the way they want it to be. But here's the harsh truth. Wishing alone does not create change. Hope and dreams are important, but they are only the first step. Without action, they are nothing more than illusions. Ideas that float in our minds but never become reality. How many times have you heard someone say, "I wish I could lose weight," or "I really want to start my own business someday," yet years pass and nothing changes? The reason is simple. They are waiting for change instead of making it happen. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is action. Successful people don't just wish for change, they work for it. They understand that dreams without effort are useless. They take deliberate steps every day, no matter how small, to move toward their goals. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the right time. They convince themselves that they will start when they have more money, more confidence, more time, or when life becomes less stressful. But the perfect moment will never come. Life will always be busy, challenges will always exist, and fear will always try to hold you back. The longer you wait, the further you push your dreams away. Think about the things you want to change in your life. Maybe you want to switch careers, start a fitness journey, build stronger relationships, or develop a new skill. Now ask yourself, what actions have I taken toward that goal? If your answer is none or not enough, then you have to acknowledge that wishing is not the problem. Lack of action is. Taking action does not mean making drastic changes overnight. It means committing to small, consistent steps every day. If you want to be healthier, start by drinking more water or taking a short walk. If you want a better career, start by improving your skills or networking with the right people. If you want to save money, begin by cutting unnecessary expenses. Small actions done repeatedly lead to big results over time. Many people also fear failure, which stops them from taking action. They think, what if I try and fail? But here's something to remember. Failure is better than inaction. When you fail, you learn. You grow. You gain experience. But when you do nothing, nothing changes. The only real failure is never trying at all. At the end of the day, change does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. You must decide to take control of your life instead of waiting for life to change for you. Dreams without action are just fantasies. If you truly want to change, don't just wish for it. Work for it. Success is something that many people desire, but few truly achieve. Why? Because success is not about talent, luck, or intelligence alone. It is about discipline. No matter how big your dreams are, without discipline, they will remain just that, dreams. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It is waking up early to work on your goals when you would rather stay in bed. It is choosing healthy food over junk, even when temptation is strong. It is pushing yourself to keep going when every part of you wants to quit. Discipline is the bridge between wanting and achieving. Look at any successful person in history. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists. They didn't reach the top simply because they were naturally gifted. They got there because they showed up every single day, practiced relentlessly, and refused to give up, even when things got tough. They mastered the art of self-discipline, understanding that small daily actions compound over time into greatness. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it requires motivation. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they take action. They say, I'll start working out when I feel motivated. Or, I'll write my book when I feel inspired. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. If you rely on motivation, you will never be consistent. True success comes from doing what needs to be done even on days when you don't feel like it. Building discipline requires commitment and consistency. It starts with setting clear goals and creating a plan of action. If you want to improve your health, set a specific exercise routine and stick to it. If you want to grow in your career, commit to learning new skills every day. If you want to be financially stable, develop the habit of budgeting and saving, no matter how small the amount. Success is not built in a single day. It is the result of disciplined efforts repeated over time. Another important aspect of discipline is learning to resist distractions. In today's world, there are endless things vying for our attention: social media, television, entertainment, and countless other time wasters. These distractions may seem harmless, but they slowly steal away the time and energy that could be used to build a better future. Discipline means prioritizing what truly matters and making sacrifices where necessary. It means saying no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term success. Many people associate discipline with hardship or restriction, but in reality, discipline brings freedom. When you are disciplined with your time, you have more control over your life. When you are disciplined with your health, you enjoy a longer, more active life. When you are disciplined with your finances, you avoid unnecessary stress and gain financial security. True freedom comes from having the discipline to make the right choices today for a better tomorrow. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you train yourself to develop. It starts with small steps, making a promise to yourself and keeping it. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. And as it grows, so does your success. Your dreams are within reach, but only if you have the discipline to chase them. Change and growth cannot happen while you remain in your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a place of familiarity, security, and ease. If you want to grow, improve, and transform your life, you must be willing to step outside of what feels comfortable and embrace the unknown. Many people fear stepping out of their comfort zones because it often brings discomfort, uncertainty, and even failure. The human mind is wired to seek safety and avoid risks. That is why so many people settle for less than they are capable of. They stay in unfulfilling jobs because they fear the unknown. They avoid speaking up because they fear judgment. They refuse to take risks because they fear failure. But what they do not realize is that the life they desire exists beyond their comfort zone. Every great success story begins with someone who dared to step beyond their limits. Think of an athlete training for a championship. If they only practice within their comfort zone, lifting the same weights, running the same distances, and never pushing their limits, they will never reach their full potential. It is only when they challenge themselves, endure the struggle, and push past their previous boundaries that they become stronger, faster, and better. The same principle applies to every area of life. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean making reckless decisions. It means taking calculated risks and challenging yourself to do things that make you uncomfortable but necessary for growth. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as motivation to move forward. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? What is the worst that could happen? Often the worst case scenario is not as bad as we imagine, and the rewards of taking the leap far outweigh the risks. The most successful and fulfilled people in the world did not get there by playing it safe. They took chances, faced challenges, and pushed themselves beyond what was comfortable. They embraced discomfort, knowing that it was a necessary part of growth. When you step out of your comfort zone, you gain confidence, resilience, and a new sense of self. You realize that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. You develop new skills, meet new people, and open doors to opportunities that would have never been available to you if you had stayed where you were. Your comfort zone may feel safe, but it is also the place where dreams go to die. The greatest version of yourself is waiting for you, but you will never meet that person unless you take the first step beyond what feels comfortable. When people think about change, they often imagine it as something dramatic. Quitting a job overnight, losing 50 pounds in a month, or instantly becoming successful. This kind of thinking can be discouraging because it makes transformation seem overwhelming. But the truth is, real change does not happen in giant leaps. It happens in small, consistent steps. Imagine a drop of water falling onto a rock. One drop does nothing. 10 drops do nothing. But after years of water dripping in the same place, the rock changes shape. That is the power of small, repeated actions. They may seem insignificant at first, but over time they create a massive impact. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to improve your health, you do not need to overhaul your entire diet in a single day. Simply drinking more water, walking for 10 minutes, or choosing one healthy meal a day can create long-term progress. If you want to build wealth, saving a small amount consistently will do more for you than trying to make one big financial win. If you want to be more productive, adjusting your routine little by little will lead to noticeable improvements. The key to lasting success is consistency. Most people fail to achieve their goals because they expect instant results. They start a new habit, but when they don't see immediate progress, they give up. However, the most successful people understand that change is a process, not an event. They focus on progress over perfection, knowing that small efforts, when repeated daily, lead to massive transformation. A powerful example of this is the 1% rule. If you improve by just 1% every day, that might seem like nothing at first, but over time, those tiny improvements compound. By the end of a year, you will be 37 times better than where you started. Small, consistent actions create an unstoppable momentum. Another reason small changes work is that they are sustainable. Many people fail because they try to change everything at once. They start extreme diets, intense workout plans, or strict schedules, only to burn out within a few weeks. But when you make small, manageable adjustments, they become habits. And once something becomes a habit, it requires less effort and leads to lasting change. The key is to start where you are with what you have. Do not wait for the perfect time. Start with one small step today. If you want to read more, start with 5 minutes a day. If you want to learn a new skill, practice for just 10 minutes daily. If you want better relationships, make a habit of sending one kind message to someone each day. These small changes may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they will completely transform your life. Every great achievement is the result of tiny steps that were taken consistently over time. The difference between success and failure is not a single big decision. It is the small choices you make every single day. Your habits shape your future, and even the smallest effort today will bring you closer to the life you want to create. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that you are in control of your own life. Too often, people go through life feeling powerless, as if they are merely reacting to circumstances rather than shaping their own destinies. They blame their failures on bad luck, difficult childhoods, the economy, or other people. But the truth is, while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond, how you grow, and what choices you make. Taking control of your life starts with accepting responsibility. It is easy to blame external factors for your struggles, but that mindset keeps you stuck. The moment you shift your thinking from "why is this happening to me" to "what can I do about this?" everything changes. Responsibility is not about guilt or self-blame. It is about recognizing that your choices shape your reality. Every single day, you make decisions that influence your future. The way you spend your time, the habits you develop, the people you surround yourself with, and the mindset you adopt. All of these are within your control. Even when life throws unexpected challenges your way, you still have the power to decide how you will react. Will you let setbacks define you, or will you use them as motivation to push forward? Many people do not take control of their lives because they feel stuck in routines or fear change. They think this is just how I am, or this is the way things have always been. But the truth is, you are not bound by your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your circumstances. You are the author of your own story. And at any moment, you can choose to write a new chapter. Taking control of your life also means letting go of the need for external validation. Too many people make decisions based on what others think or expect from them. They choose careers, relationships, and lifestyles that do not truly make them happy, simply because they are afraid of disappointing others. But this is your life, and you must live it for yourself. No one else will walk in your shoes, face your challenges, or experience your dreams. So why let others dictate your path? Another important aspect of taking control is developing a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their intelligence, abilities, and circumstances are unchangeable. But those with a growth mindset understand that they have the power to improve, learn, and adapt. No matter where you are in life, you can always grow into a better version of yourself. This does not mean that life will always be easy. There will be obstacles, failures, and hardships along the way. But even in the hardest moments, you have a choice. You can choose to give up, or you can choose to rise. You can choose to dwell on problems, or you can choose to find solutions. You can choose to live passively, or you can choose to take action. When you embrace the truth that you are in control of your life, you stop waiting for things to change, and you stop making excuses, and you start making progress. You stop wishing for a better future, and you start building one. The power to transform your life is already in your hands. You just have to claim it. Your thoughts have a direct impact on your life. The way you think determines how you feel, how you act, and ultimately what you achieve. This is why two people can experience the same situation and have completely different outcomes, because their mindsets shape how they perceive and respond to challenges. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. Many people go through life with a negative mindset without even realizing it. They focus on what is wrong, what is missing, and what could go wrong. They constantly doubt themselves, expect failure, and believe they are unlucky or undeserving of success. Over time, these thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe you will fail, you will hesitate to try. If you believe you are not good enough, you will never put yourself in situations where you can succeed. If you believe the world is against you, you will subconsciously sabotage your own progress. On the other hand, a positive and growth-oriented mindset opens doors. When you believe that you are capable of learning, growing, and overcoming obstacles, you take action. When you view challenges as opportunities rather than setbacks, you develop resilience. When you train your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations, you begin to attract and create success. One of the biggest differences between successful and unsuccessful people is how they interpret failure. Unsuccessful people see failure as proof that they are not good enough. They give up after one setback and convince themselves that they were never meant to succeed. But successful people see failure as a lesson, a stepping stone to improvement. They do not let mistakes define them. Instead, they analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again. To shift your mindset, you must first become aware of your thoughts. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Are you encouraging yourself, or are you constantly putting yourself down? Do you focus on solutions, or do you dwell on problems? Once you recognize negative thought patterns, you can begin to replace them with empowering beliefs. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," train yourself to say, "I am capable of figuring this out." Instead of saying, "I always fail," tell yourself, "Failure is part of learning and I will improve." Instead of saying, "I am not lucky," remind yourself, "I create my own opportunities." Your mindset is also influenced by the people and information you surround yourself with. If you constantly listen to negativity, consume discouraging content, or spend time with people who complain and make excuses, their energy will affect you. But if you surround yourself with uplifting, driven, and solution-oriented individuals, their mindset will inspire you to think and act differently. Another way to shift your mindset is through gratitude. Many people focus on what they lack, which makes them feel powerless. But when you train yourself to appreciate what you have, your health, your abilities, your opportunities, you begin to see that you already possess the tools needed to create a better life. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is possible. Your mindset is the foundation of your success. If you think like a victim, you will always feel stuck. But if you think like a creator, a problem solver, and a learner, you will find ways to grow, improve, and achieve your goals. Your thoughts shape your reality, so choose to think in a way that empowers you. Change is not something that happens by chance. It is something you create through conscious decisions and consistent actions. If you want to change your life, you must change. You must change your habits, your mindset, your environment, and your approach to challenges. Growth is not always easy, and stepping out of your comfort zone can be uncomfortable, but the rewards are worth it. Every great transformation begins with a single step. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to move forward. Take control of your life, Embrace discipline, develop a strong mindset, and commit to small, daily improvements. Success is not reserved for the lucky few. It is available to anyone willing to put in the effort. The choice is yours. You can remain where you are, or you can take the first step toward the life you truly want. The journey may not be easy, but every step forward brings you closer to the person you were meant to become. Your future starts today, so make the decision to change. And never look back. Change is not something that happens by chance. It is something you create through conscious decisions and consistent actions. If you want to change your life, you must change. You must change your habits, your mindset, your environment, and your approach to challenges. Growth is not always easy, and stepping out of your comfort zone can be uncomfortable, but the rewards are worth it. Every great transformation begins with a single step. No matter where you are right now, you have the power to move forward. Take control of your life, embrace discipline, develop a strong mindset, and commit to small daily improvements. Success is not reserved for the lucky few. It is available to anyone willing to put in the effort. The choice is yours. You can remain where you are, or you can take the first step toward the life you truly want. The journey may not be easy, but every step forward brings you closer to the person you were meant to become. Your future starts today, so make the decision to change and never look back.